Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Lizzie Brooks and this is Muscle Meets Mindful. So today our workout is not going to include any weights. I have other videos that include those if that's what you're interested in, but today is going to be a challenging workout that is amazing for heart health and for strengthening. Okay, so if at any point it becomes too much, you're going to come down to your child's pose or your downward facing dog, or just pause in whatever position feels right to you, and please take a break and wait until you have that breath to come back to you. All right, so let's get right into it. From here, let's go into a downward facing dog. Pedal it out a little bit here. Lower to the knees, roll up into a back bend, lift the hips any amount, exhale, round into the spine. Inhale, go into that cow pose, opening the heart, and then take the torso more parallel to the floor and press it back into downward facing dog again with a pedaling out. Lower to the knees, rise up to high kneeling. If you want a blanket, add that blanket. We'll just do some arm circles here. Just get a little blood flow and synovial fluid going. And then other arm. We'll go forward, up, back, and down. And then soften that out. And then just to wake up the heart a little bit more and get into it, we're going to step one foot forward. Step the other foot forward, come to stand, press the arms back. Good. Leg you started with, lower to the knee. Again, blanket might be nice. Lower to the knee and press back. Other leg leads. Step forward up, press. Lead with that same leg, down, down, and press. Good. Same foot you started with. Stay in chair this time, press. Lead, come back, and press. One more time, other foot starts, stay in chair, press, work the back of the triceps, lower, lower, and press, opening the heart as well. Reach the arms up, palms forward, open the heart here, scapula onto the back. Inhale, reach, exhale, hands to the heart. Shake that out, just getting the shoulders a little more prepped, and through those down dogs, the hamstrings a little more prepped. Let's go to that downward dog one more time here. And pedal that out, and then maybe come into a pause and find your breath. Just locate your breathing. And then go ahead, however it works for you, to come all the way back up to a standing position. Shake anything out, make any changes that feel right to you. Bring your hands in front of you, palms facing down, fingertips touch. Bend the knees, and then from here, take a little hop out. Draw in and a little hop out. So this will be a lot of strengthening with some cardio and some plyometrics. So the plyo is jumping. It's good for the bones, and it's good for synovial fluid, it's good for the lymph, so many things. It's good for the mood. You can go slower, and if this is too much, you can walk or kind of march in place. Two more, landing with soft knees, and back. Good, straighten it out. Shake out the legs, let's roll out the ankle joints here a little bit. Opening the front of the shin. Good. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale into a chair pose. We're not collapsing. Always want to remind you here. Stable, breathing in the chair pose. Take one foot, tap that out to the side, and then bring it back in. When you feel stable, tap the other toe out and in. Side and back. So working the sides of the glutes here in that static hold from side to side. So one leg is static while the other leg moves. Stay with it. If you need to decrease the amount of the bend, come up higher. If you want more, go a little lower. Draw the musculature of the of the abs back. That doesn't mean just pull your belly button back. That means the organs towards the spine. Last one. and back. And then use your arms pressing back like you did before. Roll the shoulder blades onto your back, and if you want to come into the calves and the ankles, lift the heels again. Draw to the midline. Breathing in the static hold. Heart's probably kicked up in its rate. Provide yourself with ample breathing. And come on down. Shake it out a little bit, and we'll move to the mat. Meet me there. All right. So from here, if you know that rising up and down from hands to forearms is too much, you can either hold your plank on your hands or come to your forearms here or here and hold a plank there, okay? So, or you can join me here. So choose, we'll begin, and then if you want, we're going to come up and down. You're gonna alternate which hand leads, which arm leads, and if you wanna make it a little easier, separate your feet a little wider apart. That will help your balance. Now, are you going to wiggle a little bit and waver side to side? Sure, that's part of this, but try to keep your body a little more parallel to the mat instead of really coming off side like that, okay? So 3, 2, last one. Hold, breathe, rock a little forward and back, not letting the hips bob up and down here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees, and you choose. Do you want to place a child's pose here or a downward facing dog? If you love yoga and you love flow yoga and you want to add a vinyasa, add that vinyasa. I'll wait for you while I catch my breath. Talky talk talk. That's the thing with cardio and videoing. All right, so from here, we'll start where we were in our plank. This time, if you can come to hands or forearms, either is gonna work. We're gonna move this to our side plank variation, all right? So choose which one you want. I'm gonna be on my hands, coming into plank and switching sides. I'm gonna show you if you're on your forearm, what that would look like. You might wanna take your forearm parallel to the short edge of your mat if that feels okay on the shoulder. Start with staggered feet. Now, you can change this. I can put a different leg forward and a different leg back. I can go here, okay? So choose which one feels better and more stable to you. Make a little L shape with the ankles. You can be on inner and outer arch, or you could even put the sole of one of the feet down. Breathe here. Maybe reach up, and then we're gonna lower and lift. So you don't have to lower much for this to be pretty challenging, okay? Getting into the back, the side body, the obliques, the shoulders, all of it. 2 more. Last one. Hold, maybe reach alongside, open any amount like a rainbow here. Reach the arm up and slowly come back into your plank. Take that rest of child's pose or downward dog. If your wrists are a bit tender, I would recommend that you use a child's pose and roll the wrists at this point. I'll catch my breath as you find where you need to be. And then let's go for the other side. So, forearms or hands, classic plank, staggering the feet, left hand down or forearm, engaging at the ankles, choose which leg feels better forward, reach that top arm up if that's okay, and we'll take our lateral, lower, and lift. It helps to think about things that you like, things you enjoy when you're doing something that you might not enjoy, like this. 2 more. You're stronger than you think you are. And all the way up, maybe reach, open through the side body, maybe arc over. Reach up, neutralize, come on back, find your rest in child's pose, downward dog, or if you need more activity today, take that vinyasa. Breathing through whatever you've chosen. I'll wait here. All right, so that was pretty much arm focused for a little while, so let's come back into the legs. Rising up to standing. Good. And then from here, we'll go back into that chair pose from before. Hands where you want them. So what do you want? A little more work would be up, a little less work would be down, or hands to the heart. It's your decision. Find that chair, draw the core musculature back, and then tap one set of toes forward and back. Other set and back. All right. You're opening the front of the ankle and the top of the shin as you point, and that's going to engage the calf muscle as well. If you want more work, go deeper into the squat. You'll feel it more in those glutes. Press those hips back, gently supportive at the low belly and pelvic floor. One more each side, and then hold. Straighten the legs, press the arms back just like you did before, and lower the arms here. Soften that out. All right, catch your breath and find a mountain pose. So we can do mountain pose even through these types of workouts. Mountain pose isn't only for yoga. And then from here, bend the knees, choose where you feel safe in the knees, and you're getting the right amount of work in the legs. And we're gonna take incremental little baby steps out to the side. So I know it doesn't really look cool, but it's very impactful for keeping the hips strong and safe. As I walk wider, I'm gonna allow my toes to turn out some because that's what the rotation of my hips needs to be. All right, and then we're gonna take baby steps in. My toes will eventually turn more forward and we'll come back, stand and press. Let's repeat. Here, little baby steps, little baby steps. Don't go too big in the steps. I want you to have a whole lot of steps. Eventually toes will turn out. And then little baby steps. Woo, fire in the legs. Stand and press. And shake that out. Whew. Soften the gaze, widen the feet. Open up through the arms. Now step your feet wide. And maybe take the hips around in a circle. So when we go and reverse that direction, so we go into the strength and the contraction, and then we give ourselves a little stretch and a little leeway to just find a little more softness. And then shake that all out. Reach the arms out, and like you did as we started, you can either heel toe in, march in, or spring into center with soft knees. And shake that all out. All right, so we're gonna come back down to the floor and we're gonna go into classic push-ups. So there's a lot of different schools of thought about push-ups. I still think they're tremendous, especially if you want to build strength, but you don't have weights, okay? So the thing is that everybody needs to be at a different height. Their hands need to be a different distance away. Everyone needs to be supporting so they're not slacking and hanging down in the abdomen. The feet might be a different distance apart. So we need to find our way through that, okay? So for me, I like to take my arms pretty wide apart so that when I bend my elbows, when I come to my lowest point, are roughly over my wrists, okay? There's a lot of different ways to do push-ups. That's just the way that is most comfortable for my wrists, my shoulders, and my elbows, okay? And still impactful physically as far as the muscle build goes. I like to have my feet either together for a little more tough or a little wider for slightly easier, okay? You can always come down to your knees. A note on that, if you're coming to your knees and your knees are behind you, don't hang down at the low back and do it here, okay? Really make sure you have support and you're imagining your kidneys are reaching up to the ceiling. Not so much here, but support here, all right? So from here, as you're ready, I'm gonna go to 15 and you can go wherever you need to go, okay? So from here, I'm gonna go wide hands And I'm gonna bring my toes to touch for these. You can widen them if you want. Gently spread the fingers and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Come on up and rest. I would recommend that all of us at this point take the child's pose because of how demanding those push-ups are on the wrists. So breathing here. And then rising up into a comfortable seated position. So what I want you to do, please, is take your hands, watch my mic, over your heart center. Close your eyes. And just feel the beating of your heart. So when we use our body weight for working out, it can really become a cardiovascular workout, even if we don't do the hops, any of that. Just push-ups or any amount of effort just lifting our body weight. Take a moment to feel the air on your skin, the sweat that you created, the whole change you made in your system. And it's only been about 16 minutes or so of work. So you don't need a full hour of work to get strong or be healthy. We're going to move down to a little bit of core, and if you want to use a blanket or a towel to pad your mat, then feel free. And of course, you don't even need a mat. There's a lot of different things you can use, even if you were just on the floor. From here, reach your arms forward, start to round your spine, wake up your inner thighs, draw deeply towards the midline with the whole body, and then down slowly, the tailbone, then the sacrum, then the low back, then the mid back, and then the upper back. Good. Take a pause. Feet are roughly below the knees. Just take yourself into a little bit of a left-right with the roll of the head. Soften out the jaw. Good. And then from here, before we go into that classic core, we're going to bring the soles of the feet right underneath, lift the heart, and then lift the hips. So we're a little more glute focused. I like to sometimes put my hands on my belly and just feel myself breathing there while my upper arm bones are released down. And then I'm scooting the shoulder blades a little more underneath. All right, now lift your heels up. And then tuck your tailbone under actively. So that's gonna bring you deeply into the glutes when you do that. Do you need to do that every time? No, but for the purposes of what we're doing here, yes. Tuck the tail, keep the tail tucked, and within about a 2 to 3 inch range of movement with the heels lifted, unless that bothers your knees, move your hips up and down in space. If you're actively tucking, and moving that work to a lower portion of the glutes, you will start to feel this pretty quickly. And it's not fast, it's pretty slow. So waking up through the glutes and the back of the legs. Sometimes in yoga, all we do is open our hamstrings, right? So we're so open sometimes in the hamstrings, but we're not strong so much in the hamstrings. So it's good to have strength as well as some space. Let's do 3 more, keeping that ample tuck in the tail. 2 and 1. Press it up and lower all the way back down. Hug the knees in, rock a little side to side. Put 1 foot down, 1 leg up. Interlace your fingers behind that leg. Press the leg towards the hands and the hands towards the legs. If you need to grab lower on the leg, do that. And we'll switch. Just giving some stretch to what we just worked. Maybe coming a little bit down the leg. And then bending the knees here. So from here, you're going to interlace your fingers behind your head. Instead of taking the elbows to the sides, wrap the shoulder blades more to the side of the body, lift and curl up. Then from here, draw your knees over your hips. So not so much in, which makes it a little easier, but a little bit right over, and draw the organs towards the spine. Then from here, we're just going to take a little bit of a torso twist side to side. So we're doing this whole torso twist with the torso lifted. Now we're going to change it up a little bit. Lower down, up, twist, forward, down, up, opposite, forward, down, up, twist, back, down, up, twist, back. So stay with that. And what I want to say is I don't want you to really be taking the elbows and just letting the work come from the elbow, but rather let the twist come from the torso. Up, twist, back, and down, up, twist, back, and down. Now reach the legs up as long as they feel right. You might bend the knees when that feels right, and shake it out a little bit here. So really, really good to help you wake up. Really, really good for varicose veins and for moving the lymph. Then hug the knees in, rock a little bit side to side. Reach the legs back up. You can have a little bit of a point in the toes here, as long as it doesn't bring a cramp. And then you're just going to cross one foot in front of the other, alternating. So keeping the low back towards the floor. If you want to add more work, you're going to slowly bring this any amount forward and any amount up. Any amount forward and any amount up. So this becomes quads, hip flexors, core, a whole lot of work, not just focused on that surface core. Go to the depth. Maybe you're going to go even lower for a little bit. Ooh. And all the way back up. Good, and hug in, rock a little side to side. Soles of the feet to the floor. Heart lifts, so you're scooching the shoulder blades underneath. Lift up again, so we're opening what we just condensed. Breathe here. This time, if you want a little bit more work, walk your left foot more to the midline. Bend the right knee in. You can stay here or press that leg up. You can press through the heel or the toes. Breathe here. Spreading the toes if you can. Lift the hips a little higher, working the back. And slowly down. Right foot comes more to the midline. Bend the opposite knee in and maybe extend. If this bothers your hips or your back at all, you're skipping this. You're staying in that classic bridge, or you're putting a block underneath your sacrum and going for the restorative. And bend the knee and come on back down. Lift up any amount that's safe and exhale slowly, one vertebra at a time, all the way back down. Hug the knees in. Happy baby or just knees wide. Anything that gets into the groin for you that feels nice for an inner thigh stretch. And then bring the legs long in front of you, reach behind you, grab a wrist and wiggle, 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 and get longer than you thought you were. Inhale fully, exhale, soften everything. So if you would like to take a Shavasana here, feel free. Arms might be up for a pectoral opener because we did those push-ups. Or of course you can go more classically with the arms down alongside of you. If it feels best for your low back to have your knees bent or to have a rolled up blanket beneath you, add that on. So even if you didn't do every single move, even if you only did 2 minutes of this, it's still better than nothing. Any single thing you do for yourself, for strength, for flexibility, for opening, for nourishment, for meditation, for breathing. Any is better than none. So give yourself some gratitude and thank yourself for making time for this practice, taking care of you so you can better take care of the people in your life, taking care of you so you can fill up, so that you have something to pour out. Thank you so much for joining me. If these videos are serving you, please like and subscribe. I really greatly appreciate it. I'm just hanging out in my home here, hoping to make content that you appreciate and really helps you. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Namaste.